When you want a bespoke aesthetic for your custom kitchen cabinetry or joinery, the process starts right here, picking a Dulux or Taubmans color chip. Many people assume they can simply take this color code to a hardware store, buy a tin of acrylic wall paint, and brush it onto their cabinet doors. However, kitchens and bathrooms are high-stress environments. Joinery surfaces must withstand localized steam, food acids, and constant physical abrasion. Standard single-pack paints rely on solvent evaporation to dry. Because they are thermoplastic, they soften when exposed to heat and moisture, making them prone to peeling and scratching. Residential acrylics lack the chemical structure required to survive these conditions long-term. A lasting finish requires the heat and moisture resistance found in industrial coating systems. This brings us to the 2-pack or 2-pack polyurethane system. It relies on two separate components, a polyol resin base and an active isocyanate hardener. The durability of the finish comes from covalent cross-linking, a chemical reaction that begins the moment these two parts are combined. As this diagram shows, the reaction forces the molecules to bond into a dense, rigid, three-dimensional grid. This structure creates an impermeable barrier against fluids and chemicals. This chemistry has specific operational requirements. Once mixed, the pot life clock begins and the paint starts to harden. This means the coating must be applied quickly and precisely by a trained technician. The final resilience of the joinery depends on this specific chemical change, which creates a finish significantly tougher than any standard air-dry paint. Translating a standard residential wall paint color into a high-performance solvent-based 2K polyurethane formula requires technical precision. Industrial manufacturers don't use off-the-shelf residential bases. They utilize specialized tintometric machines and highly concentrated, stable pigments designed for industrial use. To maintain the hardness of the film, technicians adhere to strict pigment volume limits. For light colors, the pigment addition typically cannot exceed 10% of the total volume. Technicians use high-accuracy spectrophotometers to ensure a correct match. This measures the exact spectral curve of the original color chip, comparing it to the new industrial formula. This data generates a custom 2K polyurethane formula, replicating the reference color without compromising the coating's protective properties. To protect the color from fading or yellowing in the Australian sun, the formula also includes UV absorbers or aliphatic hardeners. This mathematical alignment of industrial pigments ensures the cabinetry matches the reference sample while providing a stable, durable surface. Beyond the color itself, you have to choose a sheen level. This choice is critical because specular reflection alters how your eyes perceive the underlying color. A 10% matte finish scatters light in multiple directions, creating a soft texture that hides imperfections and resists fingerprints. Because light is diffused, the exact same color formula appears softer and slightly lighter than a glossy sample. Contrast that with a 90 to 100% high gloss finish. Light reflects in a unified, parallel bounce off a perfectly flat surface. This concentrated reflection makes the color appear deeper and more saturated, even though the chemical pigments remain identical. You must also account for a phenomenon called metamerism. This is why a color might look perfect under shop lights, but shift in appearance when moved into a home with warm LED lighting. Selecting a sheen level is a functional choice that dictates the optical depth and perceived tone of your final color. Because 2-pack chemistry is highly reactive, it cannot be successfully applied in a lived-in residential home. During the curing process, the wet paint remains vulnerable to airborne lint, dust, and silicone. These particles create surface defects that are impossible to fix after the paint has hardened. Achieving a factory-grade finish requires a dedicated, dust-free spray booth. Extensive preparation, sanding, and high-build priming seals absorbent MDF edges before the polyurethane is uniformly atomized. Removing the panels and spraying them in a controlled workshop is the only way to ensure the coating levels perfectly and bonds to the surface. For homeowners, this process provides a way to refresh a tired space without the massive cost and disruption of a full kitchen demolition. If the cabinet carcasses are structurally sound, a 2-pack respray preserves the layout while modernizing the cabinetry with a durable, factory-grade finish. For trade professionals, cabinet makers, joiners, and shop fitters, the primary benefit is batch-to-batch consistency. It provides predictable timelines and exact color replication for multi-stage commercial fit-outs, eliminating the finishing bottleneck from their own shop. While transporting doors to a spray booth takes logistical planning, it is far more efficient than dealing with the peeling and failure common with on-site paint jobs. Outsourcing the finishing to a specialized facility protects the homeowner's financial investment and the trade professional's reputation. A professional cabinetry finish is the result of spectrophotometric color matching, calculated sheen physics, and controlled 2K chemistry. At Sky Poly, we maintain this standard by precisely color matching any Dulux or Taubmans code. We provide genuine 2-pack finishes across MDF, HMR, and timber profiles. Whether you need flat panels or detailed shaker doors, we can apply matte, satin, semi-gloss, or high-gloss sheens. We offer a standard 7 to 10 business day turnaround, with pickup and delivery options across Bankstown, Liverpool, and Greater Sydney for suitable jobs. Stop guessing on your finish. Get a professional trade or homeowner quote today at skypoly.com.au.